Okay, we are definitely going to get right back to where we left off. Because comparing yourself to what you were doing, to what you're doing now, to what you may be doing, again, that's playing with the mind.
Mine.
We can't play with the mind. We have to move forward in the path that we are given. And my gosh, your path went from Ohio to North Carolina in faith.
In faith.
So that's another element, isn't it? We're kind of giving this away.
Yes, yes, we are. We are.
So one thing at a time. So we have a hope and we move in faith. Ooh, I can't wait for the next part.
And it's a beautiful story the way it unfolds. But Anna Maria, it was not beautiful going through it.
No.
So anyone watching, if what you're going through is not beautiful, it will become beautiful. And I'm here speaking from the end point, but the middle and the beginning was not pretty. And it took over 10 years. But it was just one day I decided that enough was enough and my life must change at that point. So, and I didn't have hope. And I thought I was going to stay in the mental challenges and the PTSDs and the panic attack because the VA was just helping me kind of cope with it. There wasn't necessarily a cure, right?
No, you were in that tunnel of darkness and you didn't see a light.
There was no light. And I figured, oh my God, am I really going to be like this forever? Am I going to be a snappy mom, an irritated mom, an up and down a roller coaster? And my daughter, and she was very small at the time, doesn't know if mommy's going to be happy today or sad or angry. Am I really going to be on that roller coaster forever? And I'm like, I had kind of accepted that, but that's not what I wanted. I didn't want just to take medicine just to be a motionless robot. I wanted a cure. I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to be whole. I wanted to know that freedom was possible. Yeah, right? I wanted to know that freedom was possible from this. So, okay, I'm in North Carolina now. Can't get a job. Barely making ends meet. My daughter was 8 at the time. About 8. She's in the back seat playing with her Barbies, playing with stuff because we have no family here, right? And I didn't know a lot of the church because everybody that was at my church, we all moved from another location because this was a new church. So no one really knew each other. I had been serving with my pastor in the old church for many years, and I really felt the call to come here and start over. My life was changing as I was in my pastor's church back in Ohio. So I'm here in North Carolina now. 2 years goes by and I'm watching everybody else. Here, this is another thing too. We can't look at everybody else. I'm watching everyone else come here, get a job, get an apartment, get on their feet. And it looks like their life is just coming together, or they're being able to transfer their jobs and come here and not have any struggle. And I'm still delivering pizza and DoorDash 2 years later, barely making ends meet, but walking by faith every single day. See, I gave up, it appeared at the time, I gave up everything in the natural, but I was gaining so much more in the spirit. I was learning who I really was created to become. So I'm delivering pizzas, and I went to my pastor crying one day. I'll never forget it. I'm like, Pastor, I need you to please pray. Ask God, what am I supposed to be doing? I'm delivering pizzas. I'm barely making ends meet and toting my whole journey. And he knew I was from Ohio. And he looked at me and had said, Nicci, maybe that's not what you're supposed to be doing. And I said, Pastor, I know that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. Can't you just pray? You're the pastor and tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'll never forget what he said. This has been several years ago. He looked at me and said, Nicci, you need to turn your light on. You need to let your light shine. Flip the switch.
Wow. You're telling me that in the tunnel of darkness is all around us. We, within ourselves, can turn the light on? Wow.
That's what I'm saying. Turn the light on. And I thought at the time, Pastor, I really don't need a parable right now. Please just tell me what I'm supposed to do. But see, he left it still all up to me. He said, flip your switch, turn your light on. And that stuck with me for about another year or so. Still delivering pizza, still delivering DoorDash, making little odds and ends jobs. I still cannot get an office job. I finally started to become at peace with that, because if it was supposed to happen, it would have, because I was fully qualified in my credentials. So I had to understand, okay, I need to be at peace where I am and stop trying to make something work that's not working. And I started, going into myself, what am I missing? If my pastor is saying, flip the switch, turn my light on, basically it's all, in me. I'm walking by faith. Faith is the things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
That's
So
right.
I'm talking to myself, walking myself through this. I'm coaching myself. What are you not seeing? So at DoorDash, when you have extra food, if someone, isn't home and you're delivering your food, or if someone decides not to pick their food up, you get to keep the food. I was eating, my daughter was eating, we began to have even more leftovers. So I've always had a passion for helping the homeless. Even growing up, I saw my mom helping the homeless. I enjoy helping homeless, men and women, stopping, praying for them, loving on them, and feeding them. I would always go and stop what I'm doing and go try to get, some of McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever they wanted to eat. So as I'm in uptown Charlotte, I like to deliver the pizzas and the food there because it's business and people are always there constantly ordering. So as there's extra food, I would start feeding the men and women in uptown Charlotte. I began to know their names. I began to know where they would be. I began to have conversations with them, praying for them, kind of building a relationship. I would bring them blankets from my house. One guy even asked me to wash his clothes. I mean, we had relationships. I knew who was going to be at what stoplight or, McDonald's when. I knew everyone's movement because I was there every day, 8 hours a day. So one year I was talking to my mom. It's like, she's in Ohio still. I left all family. I'm here by myself. I was talking to my mother in Ohio about the middle of December. This was 2019, middle of December. And I said, Mom, I really want to pass out Christmas stockings to all my homeless men and women that I've met, in uptown Charlotte. This is like a week before Christmas. There was no way I could put together something like that. Anna Maria, about 3 days before Christmas came, a package shows up at my door with everything needed to pass out 20 Christmas stockings from my mother from Ohio.
Wow.
It's on my Instagram page. It's on my Facebook page, my 20 little stockings. I was so proud of those stockings. Me and my daughter went out and got, everything needed to make sandwiches and chips. And I put $2 in each stocking. It brought me so much joy.
That's another key.
My light is shining, right? I didn't realize it just yet, though. The second year, we passed out 50 stockings on my website. At this point, I was telling one of my good sisters in Christ that goes to church with me, I said, my light really shines and I feel so empowered when I'm helping others. And then the light came on, and what my pastor said, that is what I was called to do. Now, I just did that out the goodness of my heart. That's just something that I'd always loved to do. Not knowing the Lord was putting me right in the middle of my purpose, delivering pizzas, only making $5-6 bucks an hour, but I'm spreading faith, hope, and love.
There you go.
I started spreading that, and I could see when I would hug the men and women, the homeless men and women in the community, and just treated them like a person and began just to pray for them and just to speak into their life and to love on them and then bring them food, they would light up. I would light up. They tell me stories about their life and they would cry and I would cry, like we were having this connection. And then I heard, you need to start a nonprofit. And I said, what? Start a nonprofit? How do you do that? This is just something I love to do. So it was out of my darkness. It was out of the tunnel. It was out of me leaving my whole entire life from Ohio, seeking something more inside of me, to where I landed right in the middle of my purpose to start a nonprofit of faith, hope, love for veterans.
Yes. And we're going to tell the audience more about that right after these messages.